Welcome to Describe in One Word. I'm Daniela, and I would describe Pokemon in one word with battle. For this DIY, you'll of course need soap. I used a glycerin base, but the one I got came from a kit that looks like it's been sitting on a shelf for way too long, hence the opaque film it developed on the bottom. Regardless of the type you used, melt it down, and if your soap is like mine, just scrape out the opaque bits on top. As I do that, I want to tell you that I'm actually giving away this project in this month's giveaway. The details are all in the description below, but all you need to do is like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment below how you would describe Pokemon in one word. The next step in this DIY is to divide your soap and add red dye and fragrance to one of the cups. And it turns out that I used pink instead of red dye, so I added the correct color right after. No biggie. Once you have the correct red, pour it into a circular soap mold and spray the top with rubbing alcohol to get rid of the bubbles. Or just drip it from your fingers like I did. Next, set it in the freezer to cool for a few minutes and then cut it in half. Place it back into the mold and then wipe the inside with alcohol so the soap sticks. And I actually forgot to add fragrance earlier, so I added here to some clear soap and then poured it into the other half of the mold. Put it into the freezer again, and then after it's set, use a small circular cookie cutter to cut a hole in the middle of the soap. This part is actually really easy to do as long as you don't set your soap for too long in the freezer like I did. But if this does happen to you, carefully use a knife and the cookie cutter should come right out. And once you have it out and your cat gets out of the way, cut out the section where the two colors meet. I will say this is also easier to do outside of the mold, and just realign it when you're done. Then add some black dye to some soap base and pour that into the middle. If any running over of colors does happen, no big deal, just grab a paper towel and wipe it up. After it sets in the freezer, take a slightly smaller circular cookie cutter than before and cut another hole in the center of the black section. As you can see, this part is much easier when you haven't frozen it for too long. Then fill the hole with clear soap. And I added way too much and of course got soap absolutely everywhere, but thankfully it's a craft that cleans up easily since, you know, it's soap. Pop it into the freezer one last time, and if you have any imperfections, simply scrape them off with a knife or your finger, and then you've completed your Pokeball soap. If you'd like to win one of the soaps that I've made, don't forget to enter the giveaway. And if you have suggestions for other DIYs you'd like me to do, let me know in the comments below. If you're not ready to go just yet, click on one of the videos to watch one of my previous DIYs where I show you how to make crafts with candy.